first episode of InterNext, where a bunch of students sit down and just talk about the issues around the world. My name is Samantha Lee A. Manas.
My name is Lovely Pamplona.
My name is Norman Busay.
My name is Jean Canlas.
My name is Shaniha Kaolin, but you can call me SJ.
It is currently 10:42 on a Thursday and we're here at the gazebo at National University, Laguna.
For our very first episode, we will talk about the concept of sex on the internet. And sex is a very broad term. It could mean differently for anyone.
How about you guys? How would you describe sex or what is sex to you?
Allow me to start. I would define sex as sexual intercourse, the act of getting intimate with someone of the same gender or not.
For me, hearing sex equates to sexual intercourse, just like what you said. Because growing up in our country where sex education isn't given that much of importance, it has been planted on my mind that when you say sex, it simply means sexual activities with someone.
How about you, SJ? For me, it is a sacred gift given to us from God to procreate a new beings like us, and can only be done after the banns of marriage and should be taken sacred.
How about this? What is the first word that comes to mind when you hear the word sex? Mine's carnal.
Mine would be taboo.
Mine's erotic.
And mine's penetration. How about you, SJ?
Chastity.
So, with all of that, why do you guys think that you immediately thought of that word? Because for me, erotic, because it means deep feeling of sexual attraction to someone. How about you?
I said the word taboo because sex isn't generally an accepted topic, especially when there are adults around. Whenever people our age, we like to talk about sexual references, we make sexual jokes, we immediately get scolded and told to stop talking about those things.
I think of the word carnal as this pertains to demands and activities of the body, particularly the sexual kind.
I think of this word penetration. I don't know why penetration, but maybe that's just how I imagine how it will happen when you're doing intercourse, or maybe
For me, chastity means sexual purity. It is also a word that helps me define physical intimacy or sex that should be considered sacred and chaste for the expression of love between husband and wife.
So there are no wrong answers. If that's how you view it, then of course it's correct, that's your perspective. But if we actually take a look at Merriam-Webster and see the very first definition that pops up, it's defined as, allow me to read, either of the two major forms of individuals that occur in many species and are distinguished respectively as female or male, especially on the basis of the reproductive organs and structure, which is very different from how we would define it.
We all immediately connected sex with sexual intercourse, but the dictionary first defined this as the state of being a male or a female. This, of course, doesn't mean that our definition is wrong, because sex can mean a lot of things. But why do you think we immediately defined it as the act of intimacy?
The internet. I'm sure we're all familiar with it because of the internet. We've been all exposed to the internet since the moment we knew how to talk, especially since we were born in the era of technology.
Well, I agree with that, SJ. It's because of the internet. Because when you say internet, it is the core of computer-mediated communication. It is worldwide. It connects millions of computer networks that teenagers can access, providing us an incredible array of information. Aside from that, it has more up-to-date information than books. So how about you?
with what Loudon just said, it's been documented that internet-enabled devices have indiscriminately allowed people of all ages to consume, create, and distribute sexually explicit content.
So, sex in the media, has been part of the media for quite some time now, not only with our generation, but also with the previous generation and with the generation that is yet to come. Before the internet, though, they'd still have access to like sexual content, such as the magazine Playboy. It's a very erotic magazine, so it's not that sex in the media was only relevant because of the internet. It just so happens that the internet made it 10 times, if not 100 times, more accessible to anyone of any age.
Take websites that are flagged as R18 as an example. The website warns its users that no minors are allowed, yet there is no extra protection towards those pretending to be 18 or above. Children nowadays have various ways such as using VPN to access lustful websites, and it's deemed normal.
But at the same time, sometimes it's not the child's fault. We live in a society, or rather a Filipino household, where the talk is not welcome. It's not a normal sight to see parents be the ones who personally give sex education to their children, or at least give them an idea of what sex is actually about. Hence, leaving the child and their curiosity alone and seeking answers on the internet.
So as you can see, we had a change of location. We're currently at Sampaloc Lake. Allow us to continue.
It's 2022 and I'm pretty sure we all know what pornography is. But in case you don't know, Merriam-Webster defined it as the depiction of erotic behavior intended to cause sexual excitement.
Doc.org reported that 90% of the teenagers have viewed porn online and 10% have admitted to daily views.
Internet pornography has made it much easier to see the range of sexual activities different people enjoy. People find it great for getting ideas of new things to try, and it's also helped them become more aware of what excites them and what doesn't. Additionally, online pornography's convenience, affordability, and anonymity, it have helped reach the porn marketplace a completely new stage. People no longer have to go to a store to get adult movies right because they're already available at a single click on a mouse button. So, porn has long been normalized to the point where most men are not hiding it, nonetheless embracing it.
True that most men are not hiding it, but there's a growing number of women as well. As pornography surfaces more and more on the internet, it's consumed more and more into our lifestyles. A lot of people, by watching it, they're entertained by it, a lot grow fantasies over it, a lot are hurt by it, but most actually gain a profit from it.
The printing press, photography, and film gave us pornography, which gives young boys unrealistic expectations about sexual beauty.
With all that, pornography changes the way you think about women, and it stills your ability to love and connect with your partner.
And also, by watching it, whether you pay or not, you increase the demand for more and ultimately of the amount of sex trafficking.
What you see at porn is all fake. That industry promises young girls and boys that they will become big stars, but in reality, those youngsters are used by the industry. They are disposable to them.
So now we've reached the last part of our vodcast. Now we will end this by answering how did sex in the media or the portrayal of sex in the internet affect us personally?
So, let me go first. So, I grew up as a really innocent child. I didn't have a single clue about what sex is, what are sexual activities, because my parents made me not aware of it. So, it was kind of surprising when back then I was scrolling on my Facebook feed and I saw this shared post of my friend where it shows a sexual intercourse between a man and a woman. Of course, I ignored it, but it was on my mind the whole day. So my point is sex education is indeed important for everyone. We'll never know how and when it could affect us, so it's important that we have some knowledge about it.
What I would like to stand is that no matter how the world sees sex, it would and will always be considered as God-given gift that we as a youth today could still make a difference of how this gift should be highly respected.
Just like most of us, I've never had sex education, which is actually why I understand why a lot of children our age, they run to the internet to answer some of their curiosity. I understand it, but I still believe that it shouldn't be normalized. We have to remove the stigma around sex education because it's much better to learn it from our parents, from people that we know, we trust, rather than strangers online.
So that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching episode 1 and we hope you've learned something or at least found anything insightful.
That's all. Thank you.